Okay, so this afternoon I am going to be interviewing Kai Street. Kai is someone who has been trying to get a hold of me for a bit. He's been interested in doing rattlesnake work, but recently he was envenomated by a rattlesnake. And so I wanted to talk to him about that experience and then possibly whatever else is going on. So we're going to give him a call.
Hello?
Hey, is this Kai?
This is.
Hey, this is Ryan Heavyhead.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good.
I gotta ask, is that actually your last name?
Yep.
That's a really cool last name.
That's a Blackfoot last name, and it's actually my wife's last name, but I took it when we got married rather than the other way around because hers was a cooler name.
I thought that was kind of like your celebrity name. So
No.
It's kind of like that. Is that real or is that not? So
Yeah, no, that's the real deal. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. So yeah, my last name's Street, and everyone's like, "Is that a real last name?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no one believes me with my my real name. So
Kai Street. Yeah, it's an odd name, man.
yeah, everyone thinks it's an address, not a real name. So I was just kind of like, okay, whatever.
So, is it all right if I record?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Okay, cool. Because I want to talk about your envenomation experience.
Yeah, for sure. So, long story short, I moved to Edmonton probably at the end of November. I was promised a job up here. My dad was actually one of the founders of the first keg.
Okay.
In North Vancouver. So I reached out pretty much after my divorce in Toronto. And I applied literally from Halifax to Victoria to absolutely every single keg that needed a manager.
Yeah.
And Edmonton was like, oh yeah, we're very interested in you. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So I went for an interview in Kelowna. And then I went for an interview in Edmonton, and they said, you know what, you're great, you're perfect, you're awesome, when can you start? And I'm like, I can be out there in 2 weeks. So I took pretty much all my money and all my stuff, and I just packed up and found a place to live out here. And they said, we may not be hiring for this position until February, and I think this was at the end of November.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I'm stuck out in Edmonton,
Right.
where I don't know anyone. I have no friends. So I was kind of panicking at that point. And I started working at a casino called Grand Villa, which is at Rogers Place, which is obviously the new hockey arena for the Oilers.
Right.
And things were going great there, and things were going very well. I was part of the marketing team. I was part of the sales team. I was a manager. I had a great girlfriend. Everything was going fine. And then, obviously, the Oilers did not make the playoffs.
Right.
So they said, hey, you're too expensive. We're letting you go.
Huh.
So I was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks. Because, I thought I was doing a really good job, and I was coming up with corporates and all that kind of fun stuff. And obviously, I went through a breakup and a depression and all that kind of fun stuff. But long story short, I really didn't want to continue going on. So one of my friends had a rattlesnake as a pet.
Right.
And obviously, when he wasn't looking, I put my hand in there and I got tagged pretty good.
Yikes! Now, is his pet rattlesnake a prairie rattlesnake, or do you know what species he's got?
I don't know exactly what type of rattlesnake it is, but it's definitely not. It's either an western diamondback or maybe a prairie one. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
It's hematoxic venom, either way.
Right. Okay.
It's not a south one because those ones have like 2.5 inch long fangs, not not like the ones that you deal with every day. So.
Right. So maybe it is a prairie rattlesnake, one of our kind of local species. It is.
Yeah. So he has a collection of probably 8 different types of rattlesnakes. Different types of snakes, not just rattlesnakes. But anyways, I was in the hospital for probably like 2-3 days.
Right.
And obviously they pumped me full of anti-venom. I can speak today.
Right. That's how many vials did you get?
They gave me antibiotics, and they obviously gave me some Valium, and they said, you know what, you're good, go home, rest up. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And that was my first experience. And then my second experience, obviously, I've done a lot of research on snakes. I grew up around animals frequently through my childhood, so I ended up figuring out the difference between neurotoxin and hemotoxin venoms. And he had a Lancehead.
Yeah.
And obviously I tried it again, and he tagged me really good in the elbow.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't my state of mind, but I'm looking at life right now. I can tell you that right now. If I can survive 2 bites in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a little nuts. So, but once again, I went to the hospital. I was there for probably 72 hours, and I don't even know how they found an anti-venom for a neurotoxin.
Right.
But somehow they were able to find it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, I went through a depression, and obviously, I thought something like getting tagged by, especially a neurotoxin type snake, you'd usually be toast within 15 minutes. But unfortunately, I made it, and now I have the battle scars to prove it. But obviously, it's not the snake's fault; it's obviously mine, and I, believe it or not, want to work with snakes and animals more and more. So
you've been trying to contact me for a while. Like you've had an interest in these rattlesnakes that seems to have, was prior to this episode, hey?
Yeah, exactly. I used to live in Kelowna, and I think I started messaging you in September or October, just asking you questions, but I never really heard back from you. But I know that you get busy, so I never really thought twice about it. But obviously, when something like this happened, I was just kind of like, yeah, maybe reach out and try and contact them again. So yeah, I saw your picture on Facebook of you holding a rattlesnake, and I'm like, is this guy seriously holding one?
Yeah, I did several years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I did just one afternoon. I happened to have a bull snake and a rattlesnake at the same time, and I'm like, it might be interesting to do a video of handling, and show that the rattlesnake really isn't all that aggressive. And
well, they're not unless they're provoked.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I did a little short video with the rattlesnake and raw handling, but it's not a very smart thing to do unless you like really know snake language and you're willing to take the risk of being bitten, right? Because most of the time, guys, if they try to handle a rattlesnake, you're going to get bitten,
Yeah.
Because you got to be really slow and gentle with them and know snake language, and otherwise
it's all about reading the animal and how they're acting. So like you can tell by their form, their shape, their face, etc.
Yeah, there's a lot of indicators, and sometimes there's not. I've seen rattlesnakes just all of a sudden snap. So you got to be willing to take that if it turns around. I don't free handle rattlesnakes hardly ever, but there's been the rare occasion.
gotta ask again, like, why do you use the tongs sometime, but also you use the hook?
Well, the hook is the preferred instrument because you're not squeezing the snake, so there's like very little chance of injury. But the only injuries that happen with hooks is if your hook is too pointy and you actually hook into the snake, eh? So you got to watch what instrument you're using. But yeah, with the hook, it's very gentle for the snake. So I prefer to use that one. However, if I'm in a residential situation and there's a chance that if I use the hook, the snake is going to get under somebody's house or something like that, then I'll use the tongs just because they're a sure catch. I'm making sure I catch the snake, and then nobody's gonna be mad at me if if it gets away and gets back under their porch, and I have to tell them, well, call me next time it's sunning itself again, right? People don't like that. So
didn't that just happen to you a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to be back there probably within 24 hours. So
I thought so, but I haven't got another call back. Maybe that snake had enough. Now I'm curious because in all the snakes that I've handled, I've never been bit by a rattlesnake. Right? I'm pretty careful most of the time, unless there are occasions when I have to go hands-on. The snake is in a dangerous situation, and if stuck in netting or something like this, I have to get hands in there so I get myself.
Yeah, I've seen your videos. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's dangerous situations sometimes, but I've luckily never been bitten. But just like anybody else, I want to be prepared mentally for what's coming, right? So when you get bit by a rattlesnake, what does that feel like?
How do you explain it? It's like a hot, burning fire that is just going up your arm and into your chest. Because when I got from the rattlesnake, I got tagged pretty good on the hand. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of felt like a fire that was going up your arm. That's the only way to feel it. Like, obviously, your body kind of goes into shock. You start sweating, you start shaking. Fortunately, I was only 5 minutes from the hospital, so I got there pretty quick. They helped me out pretty well, but yeah, it was a shocking experience, but it's not something I'm ever going to try and do again. That's for sure. You have a new outlook on life after something like that. So
yeah. So really,
no, it's the only way to describe it is it's like a fire going up your arm.
And how long does that continue? Like, once you get to the hospital and they start treating you, at what point do you start feeling like not panicked about the whole situation, right?
As soon as they start giving you some meds,
yeah,
that's the only way I can describe it. Is like I was in shock. I was panicking. So I honestly can't tell you how long it took, but it was probably a good half hour, 45 minutes
that you're in.
But obviously they start pumping you full of meds and whatever they gave you.
Right.
And then you just sat there and you're just kind of grooving out, so to speak.
Right. And
but it was an experience, but it's something I'm definitely not going to have to hopefully go through again. But like I said, it's not the animal's fault; it's definitely mine.
Right.
And you have a new outlook on life, and you move forward and you develop and. That's it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you went looking to get bitten, so it's totally your fault. But I wonder.
It is. I don't blame the animal at all. It was mine, but like obviously, I was in a bad situation, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse, and my only option was to go back to Kelowna, which, I don't want to sit there and make $10.65 an hour.
Right.
Hourly.
Yeah.
Part-time, seasonal, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know how it is. Like I don't know how long you've been watching my videos, but like in 2015, I lost my career job. I was in a college and running a program for probably between 12 and 14 years. I don't know exactly how long. Yeah, I was out at the Red Crow College on the Blood Reserve, and I was running a Blackfoot specific undergraduate program called Kainai Studies. And then we had a political change there, new president, kind of new direction for the college, and less emphasis on what we were doing. And I kind of freaked out about it, like how our students were being treated by the college at that point, and the way that they were stripping funds away from us and that kind of thing. And I publicly criticized it, and then I got fired, so but and that kind of stuff happens. Like it took me a while to wrap my head around what had happened, when I got fired, because I saw myself being in that job for the rest of my career. Working at that college, I already had more than a decade in, but things can change. And so I was out. And not only that, but I had just moved into the house that I'm living in. So I hadn't even made my first mortgage payment, and I had no job. And then
that's a shocker. That's
and then
take its toll on you.
And then one after another, over the next 6 months, 4 of my best friends died, passed away, from different things, and then. So I got in a definitely a bad place, and and sometimes you have to just do shit work too. Like I did security work, at night for $14 an hour for several months, just trying to make ends meet. It sucks, but I can understand head wise how you can get yourself in that position, and I sometimes wonder whether or not. Even making that video, free handling that snake, my head was kind of in that bad place, So I wasn't trying to get bit, but I was definitely I was taking risky, doing risky things on purpose, because I wasn't interested in protecting myself as much as I normally would be, right? So I wonder.
The thing is now you got a wife and family, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you got you're I'm assuming in a better place than you were. So.
Oh yeah, and I had a wife and family then too. I mean, but things you go up and down in life. Sometimes there's downs, and I wondered myself, after hearing your story. And thinking about my own experiences, I wonder how many of the bites that occur each year, rattlesnake bites on men, on their arms and hands, I wonder how many of those guys are kind of just in a bad frame of mind,
Well, some of them are, I hate to say it, just stupid.
For sure. For sure. The guy that wants to take a selfie with the snake or something.
Exactly. I guarantee there's idiots out there that'll do that, but in my state of mind that I was in, I was just I'm done. I'm toast. Yeah,
so, that was going to be your way out, hey?
I was just kind of you know what? Make it quick, make it easy. This should be a 15-minute process, and I'm done. But for some reason, I'm still here, and if there is a God, he definitely does have a good plan for me.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a rattlesnake call right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to put you on hold. Hello.
Hi there. We have Catherine Beaton on the line. She's out in the county,
okay.
Highway 25, so she's wanting to see if somebody could possibly help out with relocation of a rattlesnake because they got horses.
Oh, okay, sure. Put her through.
Okay.
Oh, hey, man, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, I gotta run and get a snake. So we gotta cut our conversation short, unfortunately.
No, that's absolutely fine. I completely understand. Get a video of it. If you can get some pictures and send it, that would be great. I'm very interested.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If not, if you'd like to continue chatting, I have more than enough time to chat with you right now.
Cool.
But good luck, and hopefully I get to speak with you again soon. I guess I can call you back at this number.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good luck, and let me know how things go. Okay.
Will do. See you, Kai. Thanks.
If you want to use this information for one of your videos, I have no problem with it.
Yeah. I'd like to put it up.
It's not a problem with me. I give you consent. So.
Right on. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Enjoy it, and don't get bit.
No worries.
Have fun.
See ya.
Bye, Ryan.